Get ready because the next few minutes might completely change the way you look at your spare change. What if a simple copper penny from the 1950s could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? What if one small detail, barely visible to the naked eye, could turn an everyday coin into a collector's prize? Today on the Coins Numismatic Series, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating late-date Lincoln cents ever struck, a coin that proves rarity isn't always about low mintage, but about the story behind the metal. 1957, D-Wheat Penny 1 cent coin. The 1957 D-Wheat penny was struck at a time when America was booming. The post-World War II economy was strong, suburbs were expanding, automobiles were evolving, and vending machines and cash registers were constantly filled with copper cents. In 1957, the United States Mint was producing coins at an enormous pace to keep up with economic demand. At the Denver facility in Denver, the presses ran relentlessly, striking millions upon millions of Lincoln cents. The 1957 D-Wheat penny carries the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The portrait was created by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB are discreetly placed on the lower obverse of earlier issues and on the reverse base in later years. By 1957, this design had already become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage history. The obverse of the 1957 D features Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty positioned to the left and the date 1957 along with the small d mint mark located to the right. Above Lincoln's head appears the national motto, "I in God we trust." On the reverse, two wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum arching along the top. This wheat design would soon be retired in 1959 and replaced with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making 1957 D one of the final issues in the long-running Wheat Penny series. Now here's where the story becomes interesting. The 1957 D Wheat Penny had a massive mintage. In fact, Denver struck over 1.05 billion cents that year. That's more than a billion coins bearing the same date and mint mark. At first glance, that kind of production suggests extreme commonness, and in circulated grades, that assumption is mostly correct. Worn examples are still easy to find, and typically trade for only a few cents above face value. But numismatics is never that simple. Even though the overall mintage was enormous, the true value of a 1957 D-Wheat penny depends heavily on condition, color, strike quality, and the presence of errors. Most coins from this year entered circulation immediately and experienced decades of wear. That means pristine, fully read, uncirculated examples are far scarcer than the original production number would suggest. Copper coins are particularly sensitive to environmental exposure. Over time, bright red mint luster fades to red-brown and eventually to chocolate brown. Because of this natural oxidation, collectors place significant premiums on coins that retain their original red color designation. A brown 1957 D in uncirculated condition might sell for $5 to $15 depending on grade. A red-brown example can command $15 to $30. But a full red mint state coin graded at the highest levels, especially MS66 or above, can reach $100 or more. In top registry grades, the numbers become even more dramatic. Superb gem red examples certified at MS67 have sold for several $100s, and population reports show that ultra-high grade survivors are extremely limited compared to the original billion-plus mintage. This condition rarity is what fuels serious collector competition. Strike quality is another crucial factor. Denver mint coins from the 1950s often show decent strikes, but not all examples are equal. Sharp detail in Lincoln's hair, particularly above the ear and along the jawline, can significantly boost desirability. On the reverse, fully defined wheat lines and strong lettering increase appeal and market value. Now let's talk about errors and varieties, because this is where excitement truly builds around the 1957 D-Wheat penny. While the famous double die variety from 1955 often steals the spotlight in the Lincoln cent series, the 1957 D is not without its own mint errors. Collectors have discovered repunched mint marks on some examples. In these cases, the D mint mark appears slightly doubled or shows traces of a secondary impression beneath or beside the primary mint mark. These varieties, when authenticated, can sell for noticeable premiums over standard issues. Off-center strikes from 1957 D are highly collectible. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, values can range from $50 for minor off-center errors to several $100s for dramatic pieces showing large blank areas while still retaining a full visible date. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating category. These occur when a blank metal strip is improperly fed into the punching press, causing a curved clip to be missing from the coin. A 1957 D with a significant clip can command strong interest, especially if the clip is clean and visually striking. Broad strike errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar and spreads outward, also appear within this year's production. These coins have a slightly larger diameter and lack a defined rim, making them stand out immediately to experienced collectors. Because 1957 D pennies were struck in such massive quantities, the probability of surviving errors is higher than for low mintage years, but high-quality, eye-appealing error examples remain scarce and command meaningful premiums. Market demand for the 1957 D wheat penny remains steady for several reasons. First, it represents one of the final chapters of the wheat reverse era. Second, it is an affordable entry point for new collectors building a Lincoln Cent album. Third, high-grade red examples offer serious register-level competition for advanced numismatists. Another factor that drives collector interest is nostalgia. Many older collectors remember finding 1957 D pennies in circulation during their childhood. That personal connection fuels continued demand. As original rolls of uncirculated coins are opened over time, the supply of pristine red pieces slowly diminishes, increasing long-term scarcity in top grades. Roll searching remains popular for this date. Because of its high original production, the 1957 D still appears in wheat penny rolls assembled from bank finds or estate collections. While most discoveries will be circulated and modest in value, the possibility of uncovering a sharply struck red gem or a rare mint error keeps collectors engaged. Professional grading has also influenced the market for this coin. Third-party grading services have documented population counts for various grades, allowing collectors to track scarcity at the top end. Coins graded MS66 red and above are significantly rarer than lower mint state examples, and price jumps between grades can be dramatic. For example, an MS65 red 1957 D might sell for around $20 to $40 depending on eye appeal, but an MS67 red example can soar past $400 at auction. That steep price curve illustrates how condition rarity outweighs raw mintage figures in determining true value. It's important to mention storage and preservation when discussing copper coins like the 1957 D. Improper storage in humid or chemically active environments can lead to spotting, corrosion, or color degradation. Even minor spotting can dramatically reduce a coin's grade and value. Collectors seeking top premiums look for clean surfaces, minimal carbon spots, and vibrant luster. The 1957 D wheat penny also benefits from being widely studied and well documented. That transparency in pricing and population data makes it appealing to investors who prefer coins with predictable demand patterns. While it may never achieve the legendary status of earlier key dates, its role as a late series condition rarity gives it lasting importance. In the broader historical context, the 1957 D penny represents the final stretch before a major design transition. Just 2 years later, in 1959, the wheat reverse would be retired in favor of the Lincoln Memorial design, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That change transformed the appearance of the cent and closed a 50-year chapter in American coinage history. As a result, collectors often pursue high-grade examples of the final wheat years, including 1957 D, to complete their sets with strong visual impact. A bright red, sharply struck 1957 D sitting at the end of a Lincoln wheat album creates a powerful sense of completion. So what is the real takeaway for collectors today? The 1957 D wheat penny proves that rarity is not always about how many coins were made. It's about how many survive in exceptional condition. It's about the subtle details, the sharp strike, the blazing red color, the unexpected mint error hiding in plain sight. In circulated condition, this coin may only be worth a few cents. In average uncirculated grades, it may be worth tens of dollars. But in elite mint state red condition with outstanding eye appeal, it can command hundreds. And when combined with rare mint errors or repunched mint marks, the value climbs even higher. For the dedicated numismatist, the 1957 DeWitt penny offers a perfect blend of accessibility and challenge. It can be found, studied, upgraded, and pursued at multiple levels of collecting. Whether you are just beginning your journey or refining a high-grade registry set, this coin stands as a reminder that even the most common-looking penny can hold extraordinary potential.